co-ed killer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shite.
Time for the...
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Deadly Duo Chronicles podcast. I'm Cheyenne.
And I'm Heather.
And on today's murder menu is...
We are doing Edmund Kemper.
But first, some trigger warnings.
Murder and necrophilia.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Viewer discretion is advised. Our language, like it, take it, don't. It is what it is at the end of the day. Alright. Edmund Kemper III is an American serial killer who was active in the early 70s in Santa Cruz, California. He was known, so basically he murdered 10 people, including his parental grandparents and mother. He is currently serving 8 life sentences at the California Medical Facility. I don't know why you'd be there, but anyways, in Venice, in Bakerville, where he is considered a model prisoner. Oh, I'm sure.
Born on December 18th, 1948 in Burbank, California. Edmund Kemper III had a disturbed childhood. After his parents divorced, he moved to Montana with his abusive mother at a young age before returning to California, where he murdered his parental grandparents when he was 15. He was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia by the court psychologists and sentenced to the
We're just going to go with it.
State hospital as a criminally insane juvenile.
So basically, he killed his grandparents.
Yeah, he had killed his grandma. And he had killed his grandma because I guess she wasn't a really nice person.
Still no reason. Use your big boy words.
And then he had killed his grandfather as he was pulling into the driveway because he didn't want his grandfather to have to live with knowing that he had killed his grandma.
So basically, Grandpa got capped for being a guilty by association?
Pretty much.
That's fucked up.
He killed his grandpa so his grandpa didn't have to be lonely and see his wife dead.
So it was a mercy killing?
I mean, in his eyes...
That's fucked up.
Most in his eyes, that's the way he saw it.
Alrighty then. Released at the age of 17. Yeah, because, he killed at 15. Well, make sure that you don't do it again.
Right.
Released at the age of 21 after he was convinced the psychiatrist, which paranoid schizophrenics are very good at manipulation, by the way. I'm learning that.
Yes.
Convincing psychiatrist, he was rehabilitated. Kemper was basically regraded as a non-threatening by his victims. He targeted young female hitchhikers during his killing spree, luring them into his vehicle and driving them into secluded areas where he would murder them before taking their corpses back to his home to be... Mm-hmm. Am I reading that right?
Yep.
Dissipated? Dismembered.
Yeah.
And violated.
Yup.
Kemper then murdered his mother and murdered one of her friends before turning himself into authorities. So you're telling me he would pick up young girls. He wouldn't rape them while they were alive.
No, he would wait until they were deceased.
So he dead folk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. What?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's sick. Alright. So, and he dismembered them. And then his mother, how did he do that? You know a little bit more into that. So you can talk a little bit more into the mom's killing.
What was it? If If I remember correctly, I do believe he shot her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he would
Yeah.
shoot his victims in the head, right?
Yes, he had shot her and dismembered her. And then after he dismembered her, he violated her head.
So he had sex with his mother's head?
Yes.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold.
And then he had done the same thing to her friend.
I mean, at least it wasn't his mom, but I mean, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He was found sane and guilty at his trial in 1973. He requested the death penalty for the crimes. However, capital punishment was suspended in California at the time, and he instead received 8 life sentences. He has waived his right to a parole hearing several times and has said he is happy in prison.
During the interrogation, what was it that Kenny was talking about during the interrogation where he admitted to shooting them in the head and then...
Yeah, and he would dig out the bullets. That way they couldn't be traced.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, though, is you also said, had he just killed his mom to begin with, he probably wouldn't have wasted his time on 10 victims.
Right. That's the way I feel
because
about
here's
it.
The thing, though. He killed his mom and his mom's friend and then turned himself in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it because
the victims were practice victims.
Right.
Substitutes, basically.
Yeah. And his grandma, he killed her because she wasn't a very nice person and reminded him of his mother. So if he would have just killed those two...
He also ate them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, and another thing, also, what was that other thing that Kenny was talking about where he was locked? Well, he was visiting in the interrogation. What was that?
In the interrogation room, they had a panic button.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And that way they could just push it whenever the cop was done with the interrogation. They could just push the button and other cops would come let them out. Well, they was done with the interrogation. The cop pushes the button. Nobody comes in there for the cop.
So he's like panicking, basically.
Yes, because they didn't come for him for a half hour. They left him in that room.
That's crazy. And then he turned around and ended up freaking out.
Yeah.
And then Edmond said, Edmond.
You're trying to put a little twang on it.
A little bit of twang. Was basically telling him if I wanted you dead, I would.
Yeah, if I wanted you dead, I could kill you right now. Or I could rip your head off.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Good old Kenny, he fact checks us. All right.
Kenny to save the day.
Kemper's 10 known victims, so we can go over those for a minute. Madwu. Yeah, Kemper.
The E is silent. It's Maud.
There, you're correct. I've been correcting you like the last. What? August 27th. It was technical. August 27th of 64, which was his paternal grandmother. So that would have been his mom's mom. Right?
Well,
because it's paternal.
Paternal could either, yeah. Oh, that would be his dad's.
Oh, his dad's grandma?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that would be
That's
his...
fucked up. What'd she do to him?
Got me by the ass.
Kemper Sr. was August 27th of 64. Mary Ann May 7th of 72, which was a co-ed student. So he targeted students pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gathering. That's the co-ed killer.
The co-ed killer.
Anita was May 7th of 72. So he killed 2 victims the same day. 2 students. Aniku, September 14th of 72, which was a student. Cindy, January 8th of 73, which also was a student. Rosalind Thorpe, February 5th, 73. He wasted no time.
No.
Which was a student. Alice, February 5th, 73. So he took 2 more victims on the same day. So they might have been together is why. Cornell Strandenberg, April 21st of 73, which was his mother. And then Sally, April 21st of 73, which was his mother's friend. And then periods of murder, which we'll get into. So I'm going to say a lot of these were probably practice victims.
Right.
Because right after he killed his mom and her friend, he turned himself in. And that's not very normal for a serial killer.
No.
So basically, he had an agenda. Which also, didn't you say why he was in prison? What did he do while he was in prison? Books on audio, was that him?
Oh yeah. Where he done books on tape for the blind.
And meaning actually for blind people, not a TV show. Because yo bitch thought she was talking about a TV show when she told me that fun fact. No, she meant literal blind people. She literally meant blind people. So his periods of murder was 1964 to 1972 and 73. And then, when was he arrested?
April 24th, 1973.
Where he
is when he surrendered.
Okay. So his choices of killing methods was strangulation, choking, shooting, stabbing, hitting with a hammer.
So anything up close and personal.
He really liked to feel
yeah,
the life leaving.
Oh, absolutely.
So basically, deposition of a corpse, decapitation of a corpse. I don't know what the hell I was thinking there.
Yeah.
Necrophiliac, cannibalism, and dismemberment. So, like, he literally...
He pulled out all the stops.
Yeah, he didn't miss a beat. Like, he was straight, I'll cut your head off, I'll do dirty things to your body, then I'll eat your body, and then I'll cut your body up into small little pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did not miss a beat. So, would you like to tell us some of his advantages?
His advantages as a murderer were that he was highly intelligent. His IQ was 145.
Damn, he's pretty smart.
He was very tall. He was 6'9".
Holy shit.
He was 300 pounds and strong. He could lift 100-pound sacks of cement with his arms held out straight from his shoulders. He was also good at hiding weapons, guns, knives, and he was very organized.
And, of course, some of his nicknames was the Co-Ed Killer, the Co-Ed Butcher, the Santa Cruz Org.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Org of Aptos. Okay. And then he was also known as Edmund Kemper, Ed Kemper, Guy Kemper, family nickname, and Big Ed, friends and colleagues' nicknames. So, he clearly had mommy issues.
Right.
That's safe to say. So, his form of rage was his mom. But what I don't understand is if he had mommy issues and his rage was directed towards mothers, why didn't he target mothers? Like, your atypical serial killer normally has their targets that mimic the reason
Yeah.
why they killed to begin with. Unless, I guess, the younger, maybe the better they taste. Because he didn't... The only male that he killed was his grandpa.
Right.
He strictly was females other than his grandpa. And we've come to the conclusion, just our conclusion, that
Yeah.
grandpa got ganked because he married a crazy bitch. If that was the case, most of the grandpas in the world would be ganked. Because grandmas be some crazy bitches, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So, he targeted students, maybe by opportunity, because a lot of times in sororities, they were left alone.
Yeah. Well, and he actually applied to be a police officer.
Ain't that some shit?
And he was too tall. They had told him that he was too tall to be a police officer. So if he would have actually, just think, if he would have been a couple inches shorter and became a police officer, that would have broadened his ability. Whole horizon. He would have been...
Yeah, that would have definitely broadened everywhere. Like, he would have been... And the way he would have been able to kill in a comfortable killing zone.
Right.
And been able... And most likely would have been his precinct, so he would have been able to follow the investigation. Like, he had a 145 IQ. He was not dumb.
Right.
He was fairly smart. It's the fact that he's a serial killer with a conscience. Because why else would you turn yourself in? Because clearly he didn't want to kill anymore after killing his mom. He lost the satisfaction of doing so.
Right.
So he was satisfied in prison because the one person that he purposely meant to kill and do dirty things to her body and then eat her, all in the same sentence, was gone. So, like, he was going to be fat and tall and ogre-y and orgy and of themselves.
I'm trying...
Might as well go there because I already went there.
I'm just wondering.
Throwing it out there.
Did he do dirty things to her head and then eat her?
What in the Alabama, West Coast, Ohio friggin' shit is going on? I mean, they didn't clarify. I mean,
no, they didn't.
You know what? He probably did. His own mama. Not only was he a mother, but he was also still your best friend and do dirty things to her head. Because what he did to the mom's friend, he repeated what he did to his mom, he repeated on her friend.
Right.
So clear. Which hole? That's my question. Like, what?
Yeah.
How did we, because clearly you got one there and you got one there now.
But then me and Kenny was talking. Kenny filled me in a lot on this guy.
Yeah, Kenny's kind of like our urban serial killer dictionary.
I think it was... Oh, I cannot remember her name. He had actually, before he killed his mom, he had took and decapitated one of the women and buried her head face up underneath his mom's window. Yeah. I can't remember what the significance of that was, why he said he did it. But yeah, he buried the woman's head face up staring at his mom's window.
That's freaking sick.
He was very, very sick and twisted.
See if I can.
Well, and he is, because he's still alive.
Oh, technically. They should have just given him the death penalty, but he probably wouldn't have liked that too much. Oh, freak. He got freaky.
I think it was Scovell. Is that how you say her last name?
Yeah.
Cheryl or Sherry or whatever. Scovell.
Yeah. You got
Her.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if I can find maybe in-depth detail. Because that just got me thinking.
Yeah.
So he slit her throat, decapitated her, leaving detectives and the people around the world shocked. Kemper revealed that he had a desire to kill his mother since he was 8 years old. So he had the desire to kill his mom at 8 years old. Tragically, his desire became horrific and a reality. He murdered his mother with a hammer while she slept.
That's what it was.
After the brutal act, he detached her head and took further actions. By placing her vocal cords in a garbage disposal, throwing darts at her severed head, screaming at it for almost an hour. Following the murder of his mother, Ed Kemper went to live with his grandparents in the mountains. 10 months later, he killed them. So he killed his mom before he killed his grandparents. That's what this one says. I don't think that's right. I think he killed the grandparents first. Because it even says on his murder list. But
he killed the grandparents.
Yeah, he killed the grandparents first. That is crazy. And I mean, he looked like your average, typical serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he killed his grandparents at 15.
He's definitely not somebody I would want to run into.
No.
Not at all.
Oh, his mother was an alcoholic, too.
Yeah.
See, I didn't see that. His mother was an alcoholic, very critical, and he blamed her for all of his problems when he was 10 years old. So, basically, he had a shitty childhood, so he was like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to murder people, and then I'm going to murder my mom, because she's the reason why I'm fucked up and a shitty person.
Yeah.
You know, if everybody blamed their mom for being a shitty person, we'd probably have millions of serial killers. Just because your parents are shitty don't mean you have to be.
Right.
Got Bailey snoring in my ear. Bye. But, no. Yeah. This guy, though, he's intriguing, but I wouldn't say he's not as sick as Donald Gaskin.
No, not at all.
I mean, he kind of tops it just a little bit because he does very, very unnatural things to his mother's head, but he doesn't top Donald, that's for sure.
Not at all.
No.
I think it's going to be a while before we find someone that
does that.
Tops the sickness of
I agree.
him.
Yeah, because Donald took it to a whole new level.
He really did.
Yeah, he took it to a whole new level. But that's going to be a wrap on this week's episode. Once again, I'm Cheyenne.
And I'm Heather.
Make sure you like and follow and subscribe and sure you never miss an episode. That didn't come out right. What the fuck's the what? What the fuck's the Schweppes? Oh shit! What the fuck is a show episode? Okay, let's run that back. That's going to be a wrap on this week's episode. Once again, I'm Cheyenne.
And I'm Heather.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We are on TikTok. Well, she's working on the TikTok. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Make sure you show us some love over there.
And you can leave us a comment on any one of them platforms, and we will see it.
Yeah, leave us a comment if there's something in particular that you guys want us to talk about, or if there's a case that you think might be intriguing to us. Just hit us up, leave a comment, message, DM, whatever. Just remember that there are new.
Oh,
there are new episodes Sunday. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.